And another kickoff, and this one fielded by Jagger Rhodes at the 15-yard line, and he weaves his way, still up and running, and then wrestled down from behind at the 35-yard line.
Nice return by the young man. First time we've seen a different group back there to return, other than Money and our boy.
Tcch Douglas and Money Parks usually back there, but Coach Beck said before the season began in our preseason show, he was like, Todd Thompson, at some point we're going to use him in a way that's going to freak out everybody. He's kind of like the Trojan horse of our offense and special teams, so I'm excited to see what has been drawn up for him. Meanwhile, a 1st and 10 from their own 35. Handoff to Jacob Matlock, who's still doing the dirty work down in between the tackles, quite literally on this muddy field, and
I think
picks up about one.
I think they went to Luby's for this pregame meal, and he's worn it off and then some tonight. He has been the workhorse.
Outside of Midland, coming up to be the regular season finale, this will be one of the longest road trips for the Saints all season long, as Matlock runs to the right side.
Another tough run, boy. He is earning his keep tonight. He has really lowered his shoulder on multiple occasions. He's a tough running back. I tell you what, my hat goes off to him. He's really played hard tonight, and all you got to do is look at his jersey to know that.
Well, and with that run, just hit the century mark as far as yardage on the night. He had 76 yards in the first half alone. Approaching 4 minutes left to go in the fourth quarter, and a 3rd and 4 for All Saints. Clark Hinlin still in at quarterback, and the junior takes the snap. Looking back, has a man. It's Jordan Jones. Just overthrew him just a little bit, but nice coverage by Trinity Christian nonetheless.
Took a deep shot there, and that's probably what you needed to do in that situation. See if you can back this Trinity defensive secondary off just a little bit.
Brings up 4th down.
And the Saints still waiting to see what they can do down the field when it comes into the passing game. I mean, we've seen some long pitches and catches, but they've all been caught short within 5 yards of either Money Parks or Tcch Douglas, and then they take it to the house. Of course, we got so accustomed to seeing Brendan Harmon over the years being the long-range threat in the receiving game. Punt by Hillman. Boy, he can punt, though. You got to give him that.
He did a nice job of thumping that football.
Look at that spin and stay in bounds, hugging the sideline and inside the 15-yard line.
Really
That's a 62-yard punt.
Yeah, good job. Good job. The All Saints special teams, good job punting the football, good job of covering the football. Then there's some question as to whether this ball hit the Trinity player. Boy, I wonder if we've done a great job of cameras tonight. They're giving the football to All Saints.
Well, exactly that. Good call, Stretch. Wow. And that took a spin right there on the sideline.
We've got the replay.
So you watch right there, and there it is off the left ankle.
Yes, sir, it did. Really heads up play by, is that Nick Moore that made that play? Good job, Nick. And a good job by the special teams. Hey, you know what? That's a break in this football game. Saints needs to push this football in, get this touchdown, and get out of here with something positive.
3:15 remains as the clock still rolls. And we're waiting to see if there's... Yeah, they're going to add some time to this clock, I believe.
We're going to add some time to the play clock, right, Ken? They need some time to the play clock. Saints is going to come out in an empty set right here. First down on the plus 14-yard line. Need to punch this football in. We need to end this football game with a touchdown and something to grow, something for this young team to grow on.
I believe any discussion that are between the officials is maybe just what to do with the clock, and I think they've all decided nothing. So 3:05 remains in the fourth, 44-20. Trinity Christian, but the Saints knocking on the door, and that one intended for the tight end. We've seen that play for about the 5th time tonight,
yeah,
but incomplete.
They keep bringing that blitz off the edge, and then they're trying to hit either Bothwell or Money on that, what we used to call a zero route or a shallow cross. That's when they bring that linebacker, you're going to get that shallow cross there. I'm telling you, tonight, this field is – you know what, I don't want to lay blame, but this field is not good. I mean, it's a shame that these teams are having to play in this. And it hadn't rained tonight. We ought to be on a better surface.
Inside of 3 minutes left to go in the fourth. Blitz off the edge, and the throw behind Matlock out of bounds, incomplete. And now some extracurriculars.
Scrum, and we're going to get the flags. Yeah, here's what ends up happening in these late games, and tempers get short, and guys get to kind of jawing a little bit. So.
Well, for the record, it is not currently raining in Fort Worth. That's all I'm going to say. It's about as far as the field situation goes, as the personal fouls are being levied against Trinity Christian in that one.
That's where you got to kind of keep your head. You know what? You want to keep playing. You want to keep playing between the lines and between the whistles, but you don't want to get caught with all that. You know, I'm sure there's some talking going on, frustration. You don't want to get caught in that. You got to keep your rear end up and your head down and go play. It's hard for Stretch to say that. Sometimes I'm a little too old to be saying rear end.
Approaching 2.5 minutes left to go here in the fourth. Clark Hillman being pressured again and taken down in the backfield.
Yeah, they're still Trinity. Uh-oh, here we go. Now here's.
And I think
again, another late flag.
Some offense was taken by the offensive lineman on exactly the treatment of the quarterback.
Yeah, that's a tough situation, and I think that's going to back the Saints up 15 here, because that looks like a late hit right here. They're going to take offense to the quarterback getting hit.
Well, and even away from the play, there was some action.
Yeah.
So
referees are going to have to get control of this football game, because right now it looks a little ugly.
Well, a 24-point differential will not warrant a rolling clock. That's, correct me if I'm wrong, I believe 35 or above. And we saw that a lot last season. I should know that by heart on TAP's rules, but from the Saints.
The other side of that,
yes,
right?
Absolutely. In fact, it was called the rolling clock defense halfway through the year. We had the shortest games in the history of high school football. 2:18 left on the clock in this. Still first down, 1st and 25. Bit of a play action. And rocketing it down, nice spiral into the end zone, and that's picked off by Trinity Christian. And he chooses to run it out of the end zone. Dylan McLaughlin is spun down on the 13-yard line. Tackled by Matlock.
Just trying to put the football up right there. You can't blame the quarterback. He's trying to put the football up, make a play. It's 1st and goal from the 25, and he's just trying to take a shot at the end zone, see if he can get one of his guys to make a play. And you know what? It's a thrown-up ball. It just didn't make a play. So get him on the ground and see if we can run this clock out and get out of here. We don't want this thing to get any uglier than it is. I'm talking about from an attitude standpoint.
Pass intended for Jagger Rhodes on that. And that was Dylan McLaughlin. I mean, he's one of the top 5 cornerbacks for juniors in the country. So that's the first pick tonight registered by them, the Trinity Christian Tigers. Handoff goes to their Mammoth running back, Jamarvin Hartfield.
They continue to run that zone read down in there, just trying to see if maybe they can pop it again. Good job by Saints to keep lane integrity, keep playing.
Minute 40 remains. Busting through the line is Matthew Daniel. But Sanders breaks away and out of bounds. At this point, you wonder, necessarily why hasn't Dion put in his backup quarterback? Well, he doesn't really have one on this roster. Shiloh Sanders would be the backup if something would happen to Shador. And Shiloh was a big part of, obviously, the defense and also as a wide receiver. So every single Tiger on this team does something, and at least one or two things. Minute and a half left to go in the fourth. 3rd down and 6. And fires this one out. Caught on the play, and that reception is made by Dylan May.
Yeah. Saints brought the corner cat, which they brought blitz the corner, and he read it and saw it, threw it out there where the voided area was.
And Deion Sanders, I saw on a broadcast, said Dylan May is one of my favorite players on this team. He said, I call him Opie. Yeah. The kid fights and has fought harder than anybody to be on this roster. 1:20 left on the clock in the fourth. And a fresh set of downs from their own 30. Sanders goes deep, has a man. Nice defense, a little bit too early on.
Boy, that
the
looked
Saints
like a good
Christian
play.
fell.
Looked like a good play by Fell. I mean, I'm a little hesitant to question that call right there, and I don't like to get on the officials, but throwing this ball deep this late in the game, you got to respect the Saints players are getting in there.
Well, that will push them into Saints territory. There was 72 seconds left in regulation on this clock. And I think you're right. I think Coach Beck has asked for those buses to be warmed up, and they probably have been since about 10 minutes left to go in the fourth quarter. And let's just go back home. And not a tail between legs type way, but learning lessons, go back to the drawing board a little bit, and definitely got some experience against a very talented Trinity Christian Cedar Hill team.
Yeah, and for whatever reason, these officials are trying to. I'm not sure what they're doing here. This is in high school football. PI is a 15-yard penalty. If it's less than 15, it's a spot foul. So.
We're just getting word that there was a personal foul tacked on to that.
Oh, but they still don't.
Well, wait a minute. Now we're hokey pokeying it.
Yeah. They're not sure where to spot this.
And now we go back again. So follow the bouncing official. And ball looks like it's eventually going to, yes, on the 40-yard line. So a 15 plus a 15 has got us to the 40.
Yeah. In a 44-20 game with a minute 12. Saints got to bow their neck on defense because it looks like Trinity's still trying to stick this ball in there.
Little swing pass out to Hartfield. Hartfield out in space. Runs past one Saints defender, makes another move, and an ankle tackle by the corner Nick Moore on the play. Stops Hartfield from finding the end zone. A reminder coming up as a minute is all that's left here in the fourth quarter. Reminder coming up, it is a bye week next week, but we will still have appearing around Wednesday an Aaron Beck Coaches Show right here on the Texas24.net. And should be interesting. I'll have to navigate exactly. But I think experience was necessary. I think that was the overall riding theme tonight.
Yeah, it's come play a really good football team. I'm gonna say that Coach Beck is gonna choose to build on one half of football, which is the second half of this game, one half of the Regents game, which was the second half, and try to talk to his football team about putting a complete effort together.
35 seconds left. Another swing pass out, and that goes to Quaylen Jones, who's still making his way down the sideline and out about the 5-yard line. And yeah, it looks like the Tigers want to add some more points.
Looks like they're trying to get to 50 right here, and I'm not sure I buy into that school of thought. So hard to be critical, but you've won the football game right here with 25 seconds to go. I'm not sure what you're accomplishing.
And looking back to pass again, Sanders, and he will seemingly just toss this one out of bounds, and he does. Still 17 ticks left on the clock and a second down and goal from the 5-yard line. Well, for Trinity Christian, they face and go on the road next week against Melissa High School, then St. Thomas Academy out of the Houston area, I believe. Then their district begins in Division II against Bishop Gorman, McKinney Christian, Dallas Christian, Tyler Grayson, Brook Hill, and are the odds-on favorite to run the table yet again. Quite possibly end up in the finals championship game against the Saints' opponent last week yet again. and that would be Austin Regents. Throw to the end zone, picked off. How about that by All Saints?
And he may go score with it. Go score with it. Out of way.
Taken down from behind, and Will Shipman.
Good job to keep playing, Will. Good job to not let them score right there. That's what you want to build on. And you can tell these defensive coaches right now rallying their players. Good job, Coach Edmondson, and good job by your defensive team and the younger guys, Coach, that were in there that kind of stepped up. They had substituted some guys, stepped up and made a play. Now, you know what? Let's just let's take a knee and get out of here and chalk this up for an experience just like we did last week. Had a good second half last week, good first half this week. There's things to build on and things for this young football team to grow.
Well, as you mentioned, end it on a high note, and that's a nice way to end it right there with an interception by Will Shipman. 6 seconds still on the clock in the fourth quarter, and well, we'll see what the Saints do. They're going to make a play, trying to take it down the field, throwing it, nearly caught by Jordan Jones, and that will do it. Well, all right.
Yeah.
Little volley back and forth between coaching staffs, perhaps.
Yeah, that is what that is. That's saying, you know what, if you're not gonna do what you're supposed to do, we won't do what we're supposed to do. Hey, bottom line, Ken, good first half of football. We saw what I think is a young team kind of grow up in the first half. They got to learn how to stick it in there and continue to play.
Well, that will do it for this one. Thank you wherever you are, Saints Nation, Tiger Nation, near and far and across the globe, for watching this one high definition and on demand here on the Texas 24/7 Television Network. For Glenn Stretch Smith, the entire crew, Roy back in the truck, thank you for watching. 44-20 the final tonight. Trinity Christian Cedar Hill takes down the Fort Worth All Saints. A bye week next week, and we will be back on our coverage here at Texas24.net with the Saints at Bishop Dunn, the Saints and the Falcons, on September 28th. Till then, my name is Ken Buckner. Thank you so much, and we'll see you next time here on the Texas 24/7 Television Network.
In that funky number, Lord. When the sun, oh yeah, refused to shine.